What is happening, Fantasy Goat Nation? This is Commissioner Rhino here. We are doing 2026 rookie running back outlook. Let's get to it. To my right is the big dog, JX Sports. How you doing, my brother?
Doing excellent with Coach JX today. You see, I'm a simple duo play
Okay,
up
I
here.
got you.
Yeah, I mean, if a lot of you guys don't know, I was supposed to be a running back, but I was just too big and too slow. But I was supposed to be a running back.
I am actually. I tried out for wide receiver when I was in high school, so I was fast, but I hurt my ankle, and then that was it. That was
Hey,
the end of my football career. End of my football career.
yeah, I know back then, they could barely find a band-aid. So I know once your ankle kind of went out, I was
Yeah,
done, forever done.
my janky ankle, man, ruined my NFL career. I could have been a I could have been a contender,
You coulda, shoulda, woulda.
should have, would have, man. Damn, I've been the next Fred Blicknikoff or something, but who knows, the next great white hope, man. So it's funny. So much talk about this 2026 rookie running back class, right? A lot of poo pooing that is lacking stuff. But if you go back and look and see how last year's class did, it was kind of underwhelming compared to the hype they came out with. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would say that compared to the height, it was kind of lackluster. I think overall, I know a lot of people say that this class isn't that extravagant. I think this class could have just as much
Oh,
impact or more impact than last year's class that kind of had all that hype.
I agree, man. I think there's a lot of high end RB1s, maybe low end RB1s and high end RB2s in this class. Depending on landing spots, some of these from the film I watched and stuff, some of these players just popped and popped good, you
Yeah,
know. So going off Draft Buzz's top 10 list, first running back Jeremiah Love, just his film just pops, man.
absolutely.
It's spectacular, man. He's a threat to take it home. Receiving threat, good vision, ball security, good after contact. When he hits his hole, he hits the hole and he's gone.
Yep.
He hits that second level quick.
You can kiss him goodbye. And no, that's what separates him from everybody else.
Yeah,
He has that ability, which is rare for any running back in the NFL. I mean, you really think about it. How many running backs in the NFL can absolutely just take it to the house when they play? I can, on the top of my head, I can think of two. I can think of Saquon Barkley and I think of Jameer Gibbs. But aside
yeah,
from that, it's a rare type of athlete that can do that. And Jeremiah Love, he is that type of athlete. He kind of reminds me of. It translates for all different athletes, but he just reminds me of the kid who is quicker and faster than everybody on the playground,
right.
and he's just like I said, he's just so much shiftier, so much faster, quicker than everybody. It just seems unfair to watch him sometimes.
He runs with power too.
Oh yeah, he kind of he runs with an elusive power. There's all
There you
different types of
go. Yeah,
power. He's running so fast that no, it's funny. He's so fast and so quick. It's hard to get a hand on him. So if you reach out for him, it looks like a broken tackle. Like that, like I say he's just a different type of speed.
yeah. His Conzo, and a lot of these running backs, rookie running backs too, is pass protection, which is I think that's kind of normal, you know. But the pass protection is lacking. His route tree isn't up there. He knows a couple good routes. He needs to polish that up. And he's impatient at times. Just looking at the film and stuff. Um, where do you think? Well, we know this. He's RB1, no doubt RB1 in this class. You know,
Mhm.
where would you rank him if he came out last year? Would you
It,
would he have been behind or in front of Genty? Do you think?
See now, I'm a little bit of let me say I'm a little bit lower on Jeremiah Love than I think some people are. I think he would actually be third behind Omarion Hampton and GT. I think they play the running back position better than he does, and that's kind of what I
Okay.
was alluding to him being such a great athlete that you can't take him off the field. But there are times where he'll miss cutback opportunities. There'll be times where he is looking for the home run, is not taking the yards that's get him.
Mm-hmm.
There's been times where games where I'm just throwing a stat line out there. He may have 17 carries for 100 yards. 80 yards came on one run.
Yeah.
So that means that means 16 carries came up for
Yeah.
20 yards. So I feel like sometimes with him always kind of wanting to find the end zone, he sometimes can get into his head and he kind of can frustrate himself. But all of that can be fixed.
Yeah. And then the funny thing, case with the second running back, Jadarian Price shared the backfield with him,
Mhm.
Notre Dame. Now, Jadarian Price tore his Achilles in his freshman year. His second season, they held him back. He played behind Audric Estime. The coaches held him back just not to rush him, which I think was a brilliant idea. To me, okay, this is just. I think he has standalone power. If he decided to hit the portal and gone to another school, he would have been a clear cut RB1. He's just as impressive as Jeremiah Love. He's a physical runner. He's patient. He has home run speed. He has special team value,
Yeah.
and he has great vision too.
Yeah, great returner. I think he took a couple to the house last year.
Oh
I
yes,
know
he
he
did.
I know he took one against Purdue for sure. But no, this kind of back what I was saying about Jeremiah Love. I think Jadarian Price is a better running back than him.
That's funny you said that.
He put a lot of one cuts on tape where I was very impressed with. I was watching Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price in the same game, and I'm like, does CJ Carr have the easiest job in all of college football? Because all you got to do is just hand it off to two guys, and there's not much of a drop off.
No,
I
not at
mean,
all.
yeah, not at all. So no, I like Jadarian Price a whole lot. He's the only thing that I can say. I mean, probably gonna get to his cons. I just wish that he was the like as close as a receiver as he was to a runner as Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he struggled in pass pro, shared backfield, and part of the knock on him too is he's injury prone. But I don't understand why they're just because off the one season, a medical red flag. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. It so watching these films back and forth, it kind of reminded me of Ohio State with Quentin Junkins and Trayvon Henderson.
Uh-huh.
Both of those running backs are 1A, 1B, and they get been flip flopped. Easily be flip flopped. So yeah, and just with the special teams upside, that goes a long ways. That will carry him. That could carry him further in an NFL career. There's
Absolutely.
something
I
that
think
does it.
that gives him one more additional round. So if you look
Yeah,
to him as a fourth round pick, I think he becomes a third round pick now because that's special teams value. Be
it,
third round pick, second round pick, however you want to look at it. But no, like I said, when you watch them both side by side, there is just not much of a difference.
no,
I mean, you like I said, you can see that Jeremiah Love's a better athlete, but there's really was no drop off for Notre Dame.
none at all, man. Where would you put him compared to last year's draft? Where
Jerry Price.
what
I think he would be down there with like RJ Harvey,
okay,
like running back 6, 7, 8.
but he's more complete than RJ Harvey.
No, he is. I'm just like thinking in that range. Like
Right.
I'm blanking on the running backs right now who came out last year. I only can think of GT and Omari and Hammond. I can't think of anybody past that. But no, I think he would be in that range. Like I just look at it like because he'll be a second round, third round kind of guy, and that just makes me think of RJ Harvey. So, but no, he's definitely a more complete back than RJ Harvey. But I think he would be in that range.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of people have Kansas City taking Jeremiah Love, at number 9. But I think if they held off into the second round and got Jadarian Price, that would be just as good because they're a mirror of each other. So it'd be interesting. The drafts would be interesting. Next one, Jonah Coleman, man. This dude's a big back, 238 pounds. 238 pounds. He's physical runner.
Very physical runner.
He's good at pass protection. He's got good vision and gap in zone, ball security, and he runs angry. We see him run. You can picture winning the Angry Runner Award on Good Morning Football.
Yeah, Jonah Coleman was and coming into the year, he was one of my favorite running backs.
Yeah,
to kind of keep a tab on because many thought he was going to come out last year, but he ended up coming back to Washington and continue to play. But no, he put another great year on tape. Because when I didn't know nothing about him at first, I thought he was just a receiving back because how well he caught the ball, and that's what everybody knew him for, was for catching the ball. But no, like you said, he's a very powerful runner. Another good one-cut guy with receiving ability. That's what I think keeps his draft stock so high, with power, vision, and catching the football. I mean, that's really not much more you can ask for than that. You wish he was a little bit faster, but at 238, I mean, you got to give and take a little bit. He's 230, he's 240.
He lacks the top end speed and he lacks looseness. You know who you remind me of? Remember Michael Turner?
Yeah,
that's who he reminded me of.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah, just watching him, man, and his film pops, man. He'd probably be my RB4.
Yeah, he is. He's my currently RB4 too. I had it tiered a little bit different as far as my running backs. I actually have I have him 4. I have Jadarian Price 3, Jeremiah Love 1, and I have a guy that we probably talk about later.
Oh, I think. Yes, yeah, see, I have Price at number 2, but we're getting to somebody.
Yep.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Coleman, I think he might get his. I think he'd be a good RB2 for a team, a high end RB2, a red zone threat.
For sure, definitely.
Somebody come in and get those tough yards too. Somebody that, like, if I was Raiders, I'd look to him as an RB2 to spill Genty. I think it'd be a good 1-2 combination, kind of like Gibbs and Montgomery.
I mean, I could see him being an every down for a team. I mean, like I said, like I say, he fights for tough yards. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Kyron. That's who he reminds me of. He's just bigger. He's just bigger than Kyron. Not going
pounds.
not absolutely going to just wow you, but before you know it, it's 6 minutes later, and you're in the red zone. You're like, how did we get here? Off the back of Jonah Coleman giving you 5 yards, 6 yards, 4 yards. He caught a pass for 10 yards, 4 yards. So, I think he could be every down back. I think it would be great for him to go to a situation where he does come in and be the second guy at first, and then eventually take it over, maybe a year or two down the line.
Oh, that's a good call. I like that. All right, man. Next 2 players are Penn State boys, who I was high on last year. I was so hyped watching them last year play that I couldn't wait to draft them. And then they stayed in school. It's like, I was bummed. I was bummed, but it makes sense because, I don't know where they were landed, but first one is Kaytron Allen. He's patient. He runs with power, good burst, second level, and great with ball security, man. His film pops too. Pops too.
I think honestly, I think Penn State held them back. I think they did. I feel like they prioritized Nick Singleton a little more than him, but I think it should have been the other way around. Not that Nick Singleton's not talented there, but Kaytron Allen, I mean, when he had the ability to be the bell cow for that offense, it just looked a whole lot better. And like you said, he has the power, but he also has the burst and the explosion. that you want from your running back. Didn't get to display if he could be the receiver or not.
Exactly. That's one of the cons was lack, but that's not his fault. That's on the
Yeah,
coaching staff.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think he got the opportunity. The way James Franklin likes to run things is really he doesn't want to throw the ball a whole lot. That's why he has two great running backs in college. But
Well, that's
you
why
know, I
Franklin
said,
got fired, 5 games into the season?
yeah, he did. but no, which with that though, like I said, I think he's a really good guy. I currently have him slashed with Jonah Coleman at the 3 spot. I couldn't choose between the two. I like them both a whole lot for what they could do.
Yeah, I like them. And they said some stamina issue, which I didn't see that on the film. You know, he gets and he hits the hole and he gets to that second level.
Mm-hmm.
He just powers through people. He runs great after contact too.
Punishes linebackers and safeties. I did put that down.
Yeah, that's a good word for it because he does punish them. And then you have Nick Singleton. You know, he broke his foot in the Senior Bowl, so that's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Um, Elite athleticism, speed. He's physical. He is receiving upside. 3 down back. Great first step. But it's the same case. So the same thing with like Price and Jeremiah Love. These two could have been flipped too if they would have used Allen the same way they used Singleton.
Yeah, I mean, and this is kind of where like I said, I'm a little lower on the Penn State running back. I'm a little lower on Nick Singleton. No, he's a former 5-star recruit. So like I say, he kind of has that. You kind of know he's coming in with being a supreme athlete. But I just didn't see the running back tape that I wanted to see. He had his
No,
opportunities where, of course, he had some runs and he did some nice things. At least receiving the football. But I wanted to see more of a complete player instead of a maybe like I don't want to say gadget, but just like he has a role in the NFL. I don't know if it's going to be a 3-down back in the NFL.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either. I think if Allen gets to the right team with the right coaching staff, he could be 3 down back.
Yeah, I think so. I think he could be too.
I think he just offers a little bit more.
And also, it's super sad that he broke his foot. I mean, you never want to see that, especially at the Senior Bowl. Like he didn't even break his foot on the season. Like this, just trying to help his draft stock and going into the All-Star game and you break your foot. Like you got to feel for him. I just hope he heals up fast and like so he can provide some quality snaps for a team.
Yeah, he does. And then Singleton, he lacks vision. He can be impatient at times. And then he lacks
That was
lateral.
very
Yeah,
apparent.
yeah. he lacks lateral mobility too. He could be inconsistent in stuff.
You know, he kind of reminds me of. He kind of reminds me of Isaac Garendo.
Oh wow. Okay. Explain.
Just kind of the exact same thing. Like, you watch him, and like I said, if you just watch his explosive plays, you be like, man, this dude is. Why doesn't he? Why doesn't wasn't hit just his backfield at Penn State? Same with the Garendo. When you watch Isaac Garendo at Louisville, if you just watched his explosive plays, you would have been like, man, how is Garendo not just completely taking it back? It's the other stuff. It's the lack of vision. It's the kind of like the lackadaisical assignments that you don't get right. It's the small things like that make him not the more complete guy you want him to be.
Now, do you think at the next level with the right coaching, I think that kind of stuff is fixable with the right coaching.
See, I don't know, and I don't know if vision is fixable. I don't know if that is. Some people just have that. Some people just don't. Um, I don't know. Like I said, I think he has a role in the NFL. I just don't know if it's a 3-down role. I think
Yeah.
he's a complimentary guy. He changes it up. Like he'd be great, like for like the Ravens, off of Derrick
Yeah.
Henry.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be great for like the Packers off of Josh Jacobs, things like that. But like I said, I just don't see the full time thing for Nick.
Do you think Penn State is a running back factory?
No,
No.
no. They were back in like the '90s, but not now.
Really?
Remember Kajana Carter and
I know.
who else did they have? Oh my gosh, You know all them guys that they had back there. Not no more. Them days are long gone.
All right, man. Next running back, Emmitt Johnson.
Yeah,
He
yeah, Emmitt Johnson.
there's some people that I follow that have him as RB2, and I
Yep.
can see it too on film. He's got good vision. He's shifty. He's got good ball security, receiving upside, and he's patient as all hell, man. Um, he's patient like a Le'Veon Bell kind of patient. Just waits, and then once he sees the block or the hole opening, he goes.
I don't like that word that they use. You said he was shifty.
Yeah,
Nah, I don't like that. I like blur or like invisible man or because like his lateral quickness like magic is like magic. He was and
yeah,
then he's going. I mean, I haven't seen lateral quickness like that in a long time. I wish Nebraska was better. If Nebraska was better, I think we might be talking different about Emmitt Johnson. And he's done enough on his own for us to go. No, wait, he's pretty good.
yeah.
But no, like he's special along the lines, like you said, patience and lateral quickness.
See, and he's one of the running backs too that that they're when they talk about this 2026 class and how it lacks the it or whatever. I don't know what these people are looking at.
Yeah, I don't know. I
I'm
mean,
not seeing it on a lot of these running backs. I'm not seeing it at all because they're popping. They're popping just as much as last year's class. But even then, you have to give a couple years for these classes to like
yeah,
gel.
figure
'Cause,
himself
like,
out. Absolutely.
we know what RJ Harvey is. RJ Harvey is not going to be a 3-down back, but like Henderson might end up taking over more targets and touches to Stevenson next season. We don't know until the season starts, but
Exactly.
the second year jump is always better than the first year jump, you know? So, yeah. Yeah, they say the cons are power and size and top end speed, which you can see
Yeah.
that too, because you can see that he could break off a 20-25 yard run to get caught from behind.
Yeah, he feels very Bucky Irving to me. That type of mold.
Sure.
Because I look at him and I do the same thing. I look at Bucky. I'm just like, ooh, like you know, somebody a defender is a defender's supposed to be going that way, but they go that way just because
Right.
of like I said. But no, he does like that top end speed. It's just not breaking it away, and that's okay. That's fine. You can still be a productive running back in the NFL. But when we're looking at these prospects and finding out who's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, those are the kind of things that kind of set you apart from like where we are at the top with
Mm-hmm.
Love and down here where we're Emmitt Johnson.
And I don't know if there's that much difference between like 1 and 6, you know?
I think it's a preference thing. So like I said, I have this tier different, okay, and I'm gonna give it away who I have
Oh,
as my
I
number
think
two.
hold on. I think we're talking to we're going to talk
Okay,
about him next.
well, go ahead then.
All right, let's just get to it. 6'2", 223 pounds.
Nah, it ain't him either, but I know you're talking about
Mike Washington,
Mike Washington. Yeah,
the Senior Bowl darling,
yeah, absolutely.
who is just climbing up the draft boards right now.
Yes, he is.
Physical, speed, receiving upside, just magnificent, man. Just 6'2", 223 pounds, man. And he runs skinny. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
It's watches like it's just nice how he runs.
yeah. Just kind of has that one thing I say. He does have that more complete skill set, like size, speed, lateral quickness, ability. None of it's like an A+, but it's all very very high. So like I said, if his speed's not an A+, but it's like a B+, A-, His lateral
Mm-hmm.
quickness is not an A+, but it's like a B minus, B plus. He just has all those things, and I'm happy that he performed really well at the Senior Bowl. Because
Same here.
I'm gonna be honest with the audience. Can you be honest with the audience? I don't watch Arkansas football. I do not watch. I do not watch Arkansas
Well, not
football.
unless they're playing like Alabama or you're
Exactly.
not tuning in to watch Arkansas. No.
No, and before that, because he wasn't with the Arkansas. Did you watch New Mexico football? Did you?
Oh no, I'm
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
No,
So
no Aggies. No.
exactly. So with that,
And then before
I
that,
just start watching him.
and
So
before that, he was with Buffalo. Before that,
yeah, and we don't watch that either. So
no.
respect to Buffalo, New Mexico, and Arkansas, who's an SEC school. We did not give enough attention to to Mr. Washington until now, and I guarantee you, we will definitely be giving him you know great everything here moving forward for sure.
Do you think if you had played for like Alabama or Georgia, uh, Tennessee, a major Power Five conference team, more eyes would have been on him? He might be higher up on the list.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said just like for Emmitt Johnson, I think it just comes with it comes with success. Uh, these when teams don't have success, it just doesn't have the eyes it should, right? Like we were talking about Nick Singleton, and I think um, Washington's a better running back than Singleton, but we saw Penn State succeed. So in the beginning of the season last year, it was easy to say Nick Singleton's better than Mike Washington, but he's not. Sometimes it does take winning to kind of get you to where you should be placed at. But like I said, the Senior Bowl kind of changed everything for him.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of these running backs too they're not burners. There's only a couple that are burners. Most of them are running 4.5,
Uh-huh.
for a couple 4.6. A couple are running 4.4. So it'll be interesting to see what happens at the combine. How some of these, like the Mike Washingtons and some of these, the couple sleepers I have, um, how much their how much their stock improves by doing the combine, the the cone split, the 10 second and the catching and running and everything goes with that. Yeah, he
That's why that's why it's so hard to cement, like, 'cause where we are, because we're currently in February, it's so hard to cement these places. You kind of have your momentary spots because sometimes when you're watching film, you need some things to be put a period on it. You be like, oh yeah, he looks fast, but when you get to the combine and you see he runs a 4.45, you're like,
yeah
okay, I know he was fast, but I'm not mistaken. We just need those test numbers to reflect what we saw and what we see in tape. And I think for Mike Washington, like if he runs like a 4.45, I wouldn't even say a 4.49, 4.5 flat. I
hmm
mean, that could take him up there, right with running backs, 2, 3 for me.
yeah. A lot of these running backs that we're talking about, I think they'll go second, third round.
Uh-huh.
And if they do good on the combine, they can stock and go up. All right, Jamari Taylor, 5'9", 204 pounds. Good vision, balance. He's physical. He's good at pass protection. He's versatile. He hits the hole good.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's funny. I shouldn't say this, but because I don't like to like beat somebody down for their size, but he looked really small to me.
Yeah, that was, and that's one. And that,
And I hate to
that's,
say that because I know, it doesn't matter. Sizes doesn't matter. Oh my god! But no, like,
I'll biting my tongue now.
yeah. But like, I don't like to just deter that from a player and them not being good. We've seen smaller players have success in the league, and I just want what he has shown us to translate, and I think it can. I do, like I said, I think there's a role for him absolutely in the NFL. Like I said, I do think it is going to be a second running back for him to be successful though.
Yeah, and like I said, one of the cons was his size, but he's good. He's got good weight at 209. It's
Yeah,
just his 5'9".
yeah, fine on. but I say he looks small though.
Yeah.
I know what the weight say and the height, but he just look a little tiny out there. And listen, it doesn't matter. But hey, sometimes it is a beauty pageant out there. Sometimes it is.
All right, man. Okay, who's your RB2 now? I'm interested.
Oh, okay. So yeah, my RB2 is Damon Claiborne from Wake Forest.
Yeah, he just popped up on my radar.
Oh yeah, well,
Too late.
Mr. Claiborne, yeah, he's a speedster. Um, Absolutely crafty at the line of scrimmage. Another receiver. If you really wanted me to just basically give my comparison to, I'll compare him to the number one guy. He is Jeremiah Love Light. He's Jeremiah Love Light. He is um, super fast, super quick. Like I said, you go out there and he played at Wake Forest, and it's like, nah, he's just the best athlete out there. Yeah, he's my running back too. But like I said, I was going to break it down to you earlier. But from what I like, how I have it is, it's not necessarily a 1, 2, 3, 4. My 1 and 2 is Jeremiah Love and Claiborne. They are lightning in a bottle.
Okay.
My number 3 is Jadarian Price. I mean, he's lightning in a can. So he's it's not 32 ounces, but it's 16,
Right.
16 ounces. And then you have 3 and 4, Kaytron Allen and Jonah Coleman. I'll say powerful
Okay.
eyes because they're very powerful runners with great vision. And then at number 5, I have Emmitt Johnson. It's just something about you. It's just something about you that we love. They say we just love Emmitt Johnson, and then that's kind of how I have it tiered. But the way I have it tiered, I wouldn't be upset with somebody if they decided to have Price over Claiborne or Kaytron Allen over Claiborne. Like I said, I think for running backs, no matter what year we look at, I think it's more about preference over who's better than who.
Yeah, and you go look at these players' films. You make up your own mind. This is just how we look at stuff. His Jax's tier is different from mine, but not too much. A lot of them are interchangeable. A lot of
Right.
them, a lot of the things could change in the combine too.
Exactly.
So I got two sleepers. Seth McCown of Kentucky. Yeah, they're not much film on him, but what film I looked at, it pops. He's good. He's got receiving upside. He's physical. He led college football in 89 broken tackles.
That's a great thing.
He should have that
That's
many
a great
yards
thing.
rushing, but he runs through people, runs through tackles. Terrible at pass pro. Now
Yeah,
he's somebody that stock can go up come combine.
yeah, he's one I have to catch up on. You sent me that, and I unfortunately wasn't able to get around to him. But I mean, if you're leading the FBS in broken tackles, you gotta be doing something right. So we'll we'll definitely take a look into that, and the SEC also. It's hard to shrug off defensive ends and defensive tackles the way 280. So like I say, if you're doing that, then you got something to show.
And the other sleeper that can improve the stock is Terrion Stewart. If he breaks tackles, he's a strong receiver, good acceleration. He lacks he lacks receiving upside.
Hmm.
So he's just a kind of a two down back.
Yeah,
But there's something when you look at the film, there's something there that kind of just pops a little bit. It's like a little question mark pops up in your head. It's like, what, what can he do? These guys might be probably day 3, late day 2 picks. But yeah,
definitely.
those are the running backs, man. I'm excited to see what this class can do. You know, I really am. I think they're going to sneak up on people in a good way.
Yeah, I think they are too. Like I said, I think there's a lot of talent out here. I know we were talking about sleepers. Another sleeper for me is Desmond Reed from Pitt. I think he's going to be an excellent receiver out of the backfield for a team. And then somebody I can't get off of Jaden Knott. I know it
Oh,
has to
that's
be
the
it has to be
Senior Bowl
something.
dude.
Yeah, it has to be
Yes.
something to why he wasn't playing at Oklahoma, and I mean it has to be something up here. So I don't know if it was a disciplinary thing or a not a scheme fit thing, But I watched him at Cal, and he just looked so good. And you know, if you were Oklahoma fan this past offseason, you were so excited because you had John Mateer coming and you had Jay Knott coming. And I thought they would have the opportunity to just kind of run over the SEC, and it just didn't come to fruition. Jay Knott didn't play, and John Mateer
Yeah,
hurt his
because
hand.
he only
So,
had like 68 yards or some stupid thing like that
yeah,
rushing.
I don't know if it was 60 or 20 carries. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't enough to put enough tape out there to, you know, kind of put himself in a good spot.
Did he somehow get in the coach's doghouse? Maybe.
That could I understand, and that's what I'm saying. So how did he get in the doghouse though? Do you not know the plays?
Right.
Are you talking back? Are you a disciplinary issue? Like I said, some up here we just don't know what it is, and maybe we never know what it is. But you know, I know he's a talented football player.
Yeah, watching the Senior Bowl showed that he watching him run the Senior Bowl. I pictured a little Mike Allstott in him.
Mike Allstott.
Yeah,
Well, I say he is definitely more shifty than Mike Allstott, that's for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. A little, little more shifty.
Yeah, just a little
Yeah,
bit.
I guess can't compare every white running back to Mike Allstott that runs with power, but you know, that's really the first thing that comes to my mind. Oh, damn. Well, man, that's it. That's it, goats, man. Just stay tuned for our wide receiver and tight ends, and we're going to have some defense too coming out pretty soon, man. Just thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Help us get to 700. Be a difference, make a difference. Good night.